So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of our post-draft prospect rebuild series, and today it's Zach Edey to the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies season was obviously not great. They were absolutely killed by the injury bug. Ja Morant was suspended, and this was a team that was overall really just not themselves. They ended up with the 9th overall pick in the 2024 NBA draft. They used it to draft Zach Edey out of Purdue, who of course was one of the more dominant big men in all of college basketball over the past couple of seasons. So many people projected he could be anywhere from, maybe late lottery all the way potentially into the 20s. Of course, Grizzlies decided to pull the trigger a little bit early, potentially their center of the future at number 9. We'll talk a little bit more about Zach Edey and how I kind of think he fits in the NBA today. Obviously, the NBA is a lot different than it was, say, 20, 30 years ago, where maybe he would have thrived a bit more, but I still think he can be a very impactful player, and we'll discuss that once we get into the video. Of course, before we do, as always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. I've said it like every single video, so I'll probably only say it for one or two more, but you all know this is like the deadest period of the NBA 2K calendar, if you will. Of course, we're about a month away until 2K25, but we still got rebuilds to do. So anything you guys want to see before 2K25 does drop, let me know down below in the comment section. Let's get into this one. We're going to go ahead and go over the entirety of this Grizzlies roster. They were one of those teams that really didn't have to do a whole lot this offseason, right? I mean, the entirety almost of their team was just so riddled with injuries throughout the entire last regular season that there wasn't really a requirement for them to go ahead and, swing a big trade. Certainly they could have. They obviously did not, or at least have not yet. So let's just get into this roster. Ja Morant, I tweeted this out the other day. I think people are forgetting just how good this man is when he's on the basketball court. Now, obviously, you hate to see the things that are kind of off court, and he's suspended, and of course came back for a couple games and was injured. You hate all that stuff, but when he is on the court fully healthy, Ja Morant is an absolutely incredible talent to watch. Number 2 overall pick back in 2019. I am very excited to build this team around him today and hopefully eventually have him lead us to a championship. Oh, my former GOAT, Marcus Smart. I miss you, my friend. I miss you so badly. Oh, yeah. I love Marcus. He was brought in probably for a couple different reasons. One, obviously, defensive presence on this team is never going to hurt. Also, maybe a little bit of, sorry, hit my desk, a little bit of a leader, maybe potentially to Ja Morant. And then, obviously, maybe the biggest reason was that Ja Morant was suspended for the beginning of the 23-24 campaign. So Marcus also went down with an injury. I really hope he is back and fully healthy for this Grizzlies team this season because I love watching him play. And very excited to have him here today in 2K. You got Derrick Rose kind of just riding off into the sunset at this point in his career. Not really exactly sure what we're going to do here today with Derrick Rose, but he's a nice veteran, obviously, one of the craziest what-ifs in NBA history. Let's talk about Desmond Bane a little bit. Certainly getting paid quite a bit of money here at the shooting guard spot. I am excited to see how he continues to develop today. Of course, 26 years old is not, some young, ripe prospect, so I'm not really sure how much better he'll get, but he's certainly a very solid shooting guard option for us here today. Oh my God, those fucking eyes scare me every single time I see them. Actually, today when I'm recording this video, yesterday when you're seeing this, the Grizzlies and Luke Kennard agreed to a one-year deal to bring him back. I'm not sure if he's going to be here in the long term, whatever it's going to be. Obviously, an elite three-point shooter and a nice rotation piece. John Conchar, I'm not really a huge fan of this contract. I know it's not crazy money by today's NBA standards, but for a guy who's probably not going to be getting a ton of minutes for me, I don't really love $20 million plus in total guarantees. Vince Williams Jr. is somebody I'd like to continue, to see how much better he can get. I don't know if he'll be my starting small forward throughout the entirety of today's video, but we'll figure it out. They took Jalen Wells in the second round of the 2024 NBA draft. He is currently listed as a 69 overall. I just don't really know if that's going to cut it because this Grizzlies team can obviously compete basically on day one of this rebuild. So we'll figure that out. We head over here to the power forward spot. I do not know why Gigi Jackson is such a low overall. He is probably going to be around 80 overall in 2K25. It's just the creator of this roster. It's unfortunate. I don't know. I'm certainly going to be getting him minutes, though. He was fantastic in his rookie season. But him, Laravia Aldama, obviously former Defensive Player of the Year as well, and Jaren Jackson Jr. Hopefully his game continues to grow. And then the center spot. Brandon Clark is, the 1A guy right now. I don't know if he'll actually be my starter on day one, but obviously him and Zach Edey are certainly going to be two pretty solid options for us. So Zach Edey's a guy who obviously maybe would have been a little bit better, as we talked about in the intro, maybe 20, 25, 30 years ago, something like that. The game has obviously changed quite a bit since then. It's not, I don't want to say it's not as big man dominant because that's a lie, but the big men can obviously do a lot more today than they could just from a floor spacing perspective, a passing perspective, than they could have done, that much time to go. So not saying Zach Edey is going to be a bust or anything like that. I don't really think he's going to be, Nikola Jokic or Joel Embiid or Victor Wembanyama or anything like that. But I still think he can be a solid NBA center, and my goal today is to obviously develop him as much as possible. So that's the team right now. That is what we're working with. Of course, there is certainly a decent amount of talent here. I do think we're going to have 1 or 2 trades before we kick off year 1. I lied. I actually do not have any trades. I considered a couple different moves, a small consideration to maybe upgrade our backup power forward spot because Santi Aldama is an expiring contract, but he's also only 23, and if I invest in him this offseason, certainly wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I also considered a potential Derrick Rose trade, but for a guy who is probably about a 73 overall right now and is going to expire and probably end up retiring, acquiring a draft pick feels a little cheesy, even if it is an unrealistic rebuild. So you're probably wondering about the backup small forward spot. I just moved GG Jackson. He actually went up a couple overalls. It all worked out. The team's obviously talented. It's Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Vince Williams Jr., Jaren Jackson Jr., and then Zach Edey, who Gamer recommends I actually don't play him any minutes. That's obviously not going to be the case. I'm actually going to start him. There's nothing wrong with Brandon Clark. Just get a little bit more size in here. Obviously not maybe as mobile as Brandon Clark is, but Zach Edey is the focus of today's rebuild. We certainly want to maximize that potential when the opportunity presents itself. All right, Marcus Smart will be my 6th man here. You got Luke Kennard behind him. Santi Aldama, the backup 4. GG Jackson, the backup 3. Brandon Clark, unfortunately, is only playing 12 minutes a night at the backup center spot. So obviously a talented team. Any team that's picking in the top 10 and has, this many really, really good players on it, it's typically a situation like the Grizzlies actually had last year where the injury bug just hit you a little too hard. But I am excited. I think this team can very much be in the top 4 or 5 of the Western Conference. I'll see you guys at the end of year 1. Year 1 comes to an end. It was an absolutely fantastic season. We go 55-27, and we are very much in the mix here at the top of the Western Conference. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander takes home your first MVP award. It just reminded me every time I do one of these rebuilds with a Western Conference team, SGA and the Thunder are going to be a very big pain in my side. Ignore that. Nikola Vucevic is somehow now a member of the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's your 6th man of the year. Wemby is your D-boy. Josh Giddey, most improved. Anthony Edwards, clutch player of the year. Mark Daigneault, 55-27. Same record as us. Looks like they got the 1 seed, though. Standings, yep, exactly tied up here with the Oklahoma City Thunder. They had the tiebreaker, but 2 seed, for a year 1 of a 5-year prospect rebuild, I'm always going to take that. So let's get into some numbers real quick. Ja Morant was fantastic, about 25 points, 6.5 boards, 9.5 assists, about 52.5% from the field. Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., Zach Edey in his rookie season, 11.5 points, 10.5 rebounds, 50% from the field. Really can't ask for anything better than that considering his role with this group, so I'll take it. Vince Williams Jr., Jackson, Kennard, Aldama, Smart, and then Clark. Led in rebounds by Zach Edey, and then assists was Ja Morant. So we are taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Obviously, this team was in the Western Conference Finals last season here, but it's not the easiest first-round matchup, and that's just kind of the case when you're in a conference as good as the West. So here goes nothing. We know, obviously, Anthony Edwards is fantastic. Ant versus Ja Morant would be such fun basketball. We're somehow up 3-0, and we swept them. Was not expecting that. Okay, well, we now move on to the defending Western Conference champion, Dallas Mavericks, who have obviously made a couple changes this offseason, including Brook Lopez. Obviously not actually happening, but Dallas is pretty good. Luke is incredible. We know how talented Kyrie is, so here goes nothing. Up 2-1 right now. We go up 3-1. Don't blow a 3-1 lead. Oh, my God. We are in the West Finals, taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Run from it, hide from it, destiny rise, all the same. It's just, there's no avoiding the Thunder when you do one of these rebuilds. It is very, very rare. Okay, split the first 2 on the road. Win Game 3 at home and Game 4. Okay. Is 2K being nice to me today? This is what it feels like. And it is us taking on the Atlanta Hawks and Trae Young here in year 1. KCP, Hunter Johnson, and Kongwu. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little surprised that this team's in the NBA Finals, right? I know the East is, significantly weaker than the West, but wow, okay. Well, I'm going to give it a go. I was not expecting this for a year 1, but of course we'll 1,000. Really? Well, not what I was expecting. Trae Young, your Finals MVP. They go from first overall pick to championship in 1 offseason. All right. LeBron, CP3 was somehow on the Celtics. Kyle Lowry, Eric Gordon, Al Horford, Mike Conley. Wow, man, a lot of names there. Yeah, that sucks. We were up 2-0 in the finals and then just lost 4 straight. Never really like to see that. Let's get into the lottery. We're not a team with a lottery pick. It is the Trailblazers, the Bulls, the Jazz, Raptors, and then Rockets. We now head up to staff signing. I'm blanking on his name. Oh, boy. I'm blanking on his fucking name. Oh, I know him. It's a fucking white dude. Oh, my God. Chris Jenkins. No, Taylor Jenkins. It's Taylor Jenkins. Okay. I was like, I saw Jenkins. I'm like, hold on a minute. All right, we get Taylor Jenkins back. A little brain fart there for a second. Don't mind me. It's been a long day. We now head up to the draft. We do have our own first. It's at number 29. I'll use it. I'm not, really sure if this player who we draft here is going to be in the rotation, bottom of the bench, trade piece. Not really sure. Let's think positionally. What are some of our bigger needs? I think Ding Patel actually could make some sense for us, and I say that because Luke Kennard was on a one-year contract. He obviously is now entering free agency. Could also maybe look at a guy like Damian Sarr, both ranked very similarly according to our scouts. They're the same overall, same listed height, similar listed weight, same exact wingspan, right? Listed wingspan, yeah. I'll go with Patel, mostly because I like his name. I don't know. Welcome to Memphis. All right, he is going to be a 74 overall for us. We look at team player options. I will bring back Jake LaRavia, certainly somebody we could consider moving this offseason. We decided not to move Santi Aldama last offseason with the intentions of bringing him back here in free agency. So he's only asking for about 7.25, just about a little over maybe. It's not bad. Kennard's gone. We've drafted his replacement. Jalen Wells, I know, was a second-round pick in 2024. I don't really see him getting minutes here today, and if he's entering free agency, I'm just going to let him go. All right, so we get Aldama back. I do think there's some consideration to maybe make a small upgrade, but ultimately this was a team that was just in the NBA Finals and had a 2-0 lead in the NBA Finals. So I'm certainly going to be a little bit more patient than maybe I traditionally would be, and I'm not going to force the issue, but we'll consider our options. I've come to the decision that we are going to basically run this thing back. We decided that Jake LaRavia could be a piece we're a little bit more flexible with this offseason, and after we brought back Santi Aldama on a multi-year contract, LaRavia is pretty much gone. So we're sending him to the Charlotte Hornets, 2026 first-round lottery-protected pick. That is next year's draft, so, it could potentially be unprotected in 2027. I have decided to basically hang on to everybody else. It's certainly unfortunate Marcus Smart will be entering unrestricted free agency, somebody that I absolutely love. You all know that. So we'll keep our eye on that after the season, but Bane was fantastic. I want to play Ding Patel. John Conchar, if he was expiring, I very well maybe could consider a trade, but he's not, so we'll hang on to him and his money just in case we need a bigger upgrade. Small forward was what I was considering, but I was actually happy with the way Vince Williams Jr. played for us, and I still am really high on G.G. Jackson, so he'll hang out here for now. Aldama and Jaren Jackson Jr. was never moving Triple J, even though he is expiring. And then the center spot got Edey, and then Clark's multi-year. So that's where we're at. We were 2 wins away from a championship, and as unfortunate as it is a reality that we want to accept. I will see you guys at the start of year 2. Rotation's ready to go here at the start of our second season in Memphis. Last year was a great season, right? We came off, a season where we were really, really bad, had the 9th overall pick, didn't really make many big changes, and then went all the way to the NBA Finals, had a 2-0 lead, and of course, smoked it. We brought everybody back for the most part. This team is still really, really talented, and I think we are only going to get better. It is Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Vince Williams Jr., Jaren Jackson Jr., and Zach Edey. Bench unit will still be led by Marcus Smart. You got Santi Aldama, G.G. Jackson, Brandon Clark, and Ding Patel. So only really one change was swapping out Luke Kennard for Ding Patel, and I think we should be just as good as we were last year. I will see you guys at the end of year 2. SGA wins another MVP. This game obviously is a big fan of the Oklahoma City Thunder and their players. We go 54-28. I think it's one game worse than last year, pretty much on par. A lot of deja vu right now, but I'll take it. Cooper Flagg is a Chicago Bull. He is your Rookie of the Year. Jarris Walker, Wembanyama, Alex Sarr, Jaylen Brown, my fucking GOAT, baby. Mark Daignault, 63-19. It is evident that we are not the 1 seed here in a very talented West, but we are the 2 seed once again. At least the good news is we will not have to see these demons until the Western Conference Finals for hopefully what is going to be another ass kicking from us to them. So let's dive into some numbers. Let's see how everything kind of shook out. Ja Morant was fantastic once again. Desmond Bane, really, really solid. Very, very consistent. Love to see it. Triple J, Zach Edey, very, very consistent as well. Let's take a look at some of these numbers here. Field goal percentage is down a little bit. You don't love to see that, but it's relatively on par with what he did last year. Vince Williams Jr., Jackson, Aldama, Patel, not a terrible rookie season. I'll live with that. You'd like the 3-point percentage to be a little bit better, field goal percentage maybe a tick, but I'm not going to complain about that for 12 minutes a night. It's actually really good. I'm just curious, this is not math, and this is obviously does not translate, but this is a calculated estimation of what his per 36 would look like. Not bad for a rookie, let me tell you that. Marcus Smart and then Brandon Clark. Rebounds per game led by Edey, and assists was Mr. Morant. Okay, it is us in the Golden State Warriors. What? Hold up, wait a minute. How did that happen? I'm not really sure, but now Jimmy Buckets is playing next to Steph Curry. Of course, not my favorite first round matchup here. We dropped the first 2 at home. We've now lost 3 out of 4. We do win game 5, lose game 6. Okay, that was fun. No, it wasn't. That's a lie. It was time, though. Wow, the Cavs. Oh, I hate when 2K does this. It happens way too often. I'm not going to make a big thing about it because who really cares? But, like, why? Why? He lost in 5. I understand he played fantastic. Those are unbelievably good numbers, especially for a 5-game NBA Finals series. But there's no way you can give somebody who lost in 5, I don't care what the numbers are, MVP. All right, player retirements. A lot of names here as well. Oh, my God. Staff retirements, jersey retirements, lottery time. I don't think we... Oh, it's lottery protected. Fuck. I know that. Well, at least we'll have their unprotected pick next year. Oh, my God. Wait. Oh, it went back. I'm like, where the fuck is it? It was at 2, by the way. I really wish we got that draft pick. All right, let's do staff signings. We're good with Taylor Jenkins. Let's head up to the draft. We should still have our own first-round pick, and kind of similar to last year, I'll draft somebody. Again, not really sure what their role could be. Maybe bottom end of the bench like Dirk Patel was. Maybe a trade piece. Not really sure. Kanye Roth. Interesting name. I'm going to take him. Welcome to the team, Kanye. 6'8", 200 pounds out of Michigan. He's going to be a 72 overall. We look at some team options here. Obviously, all these guys coming back. Qualifying, we have none. And as we enter free agency, we have a couple guys, obviously. First and foremost, Mr. Jaren Jackson Jr., and then Marcus Smart, somebody I'd like to retain as well. 2 former defensive players of the year. All right, we're all set now bringing back our own guys. We've obviously made some decisions in terms of what we wanted to do with this team. And I think it is time to go put those decisions to action. I'm very interested in Shaedon Sharpe. He would be a clear-cut upgrade in the starting 5. He'd be somebody who can, I think, fit seamlessly with this group, and overall-wise, he's a clear upgrade. So I am attempting to get this done. We do have a trade exception, fortunately. Ooh, that Hornets pick could be a very nice piece to include in this deal. We're going to have to kind of max it out, and they agree. All right, Shaedon Sharpe, welcome to the team. He is going to kind of come in. Him or Bane at the small forward spot doesn't really make a big difference to me. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I mean, no overall movement. Actually goes up 2 overall. Fuck it, we'll play Desmond Bane at the starting 3 guard. He's a little heavier as well, so that's fine. All right, in terms of what else we could do, I now have to find myself a new backup center, but ultimately that's not the end of the world. And I'm really happy with the way things are kind of going right now. So let's look at some center options here potentially. See a guy like Yusuf Nurkic. Isaiah Hartenstein's chilling here. Sure, why not? Come on down, Isaiah. Welcome to Memphis. Now have our new backup center. I will see you guys at the start of year 3. We finally decided to make a big change. Adding Shaedon Sharpe to this team just only improves this group, and I think this is a team that can be back in the finals, hopefully win it this time. Ja Morant, Shaedon Sharpe, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Zach Edey. Bench unit will still be led by Marcus Smart. You got Gigi Jackson developing quite nicely. He's up to a 79 overall. We obviously brought in Isaiah Hartenstein, Santi Aldama, and then Deng Patel, rounding out number 9 and 10. So, yeah, I mean, the talent's here. Let's just go do our thing and hopefully get back to the playoffs. Hopefully win a lot of games. I'll see you guys at the end of year 3. 66-16. By far our best record yet. It's how we wrap up year 3, and hopefully a championship is well on the horizon. Tyrese Halliburton winning his first career MVP. A.J. Demancini, Rookie of the Year, is in Oklahoma City. Oh, good. Marcus Sasser, 6th man. Wemby Depoy. Igor Demir, most improved. Hallie also wins Clutch Player of the Year. Our guy, Taylor Jenkins, takes home Coach of the Year. Okay, we are finally the 1 seed. We have cracked all the way up to the top of the West. And this is a team that is now hopefully ready to be the favorite and ready to not choke a finals lead. So here are the numbers. Feel free to pause at any point in time, of course. It looks like some of our scoring numbers have gone up. This team all around, though, is just way, way too good. All right, it is us and the Utah Jazz. Interesting. They have Lowry Marketing coming off the bench. Okay, I'm not saying the Jazz aren't a good team. I'm just pretty confident in our abilities. We sweep. Now moving on to Dallas. Luka Doncic, one of the best players in the world. They added Ben Mathurin as well. He got Lively at the 4. I don't know if I love that spacing, but interesting nonetheless. A lot of really good depth there. You know, Luka's still going to be a pain in the ass. We are up 2-1 though. We go up 3-1. We close them out in 5. It is now time for the big bad wolf who added Mikal Bridges. Right? Let's just roll on down to the NBA trade market and just go out and get whoever the hell we want, because that's how we roll here in Oklahoma City. Okay, well, not my favorite thing to deal with. We are up 3-0, though, and we sweep. Okay. It is us taking on the Boston Celtics. This is a team that has won a ring recently. Added Mo Wagner, Brickleberry, Simmons. If Ben Simmons is ever on my basketball team, I'll fucking lose it. I'm not going to lie to you. I may not watch. I may protest. I will protest Celtics games. I'm so serious. It is time for the finals. As much as I love my Celtics, I hope they lose right now. Up 2-1 against them. We go up 3-1 against them. And as we head back here to Memphis for a potential closeout Game 5, we got one thing on our mind. Win the fucking game. I don't care who does what, as long as we are winning this game. And it looks like we're going to be doing that. See you guys in there. On the verge of our first championship of this video. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't like this court. I think it looks better actually in person. All right, let's talk about the Memphis Grizzlies right now, because just a few seasons ago, they were going to war with the Lakers in the Western Conference playoffs. Oh my God, Dylan Brooks versus LeBron, and you got Ja Morant. Remember when Ja Morant's like dad and Shannon Sharp were going? How fun was that? It was peak, man. It really was. Obviously, you know, pretty much everything that legitimately could have gone wrong for Memphis last season did. I mean, they were pretty much doomed by the time that Ja Morant was suspended, came back, hit a game winner against New Orleans, if I'm remembering correctly, and then, of course, got injured again. So, yeah, it's just shitty. I mean, it happens. I mean, literally, it's a legitimate case of when it rains, it pours, and it certainly poured last season for Memphis. So I am very much excited to watch them again this year. They're just another team that I hope people don't forget about how good they are, right? Because we consider, you know, some of the really, really great teams of the West, you know, the Denver Nuggets, the Dallas Mavericks, the Minnesota Timberwolves, now even the Thunder in there. They were the 1 seed last year. I mean, where the hell are all of these teams going to fit? There's going to be a surprise next season in the West, and some team that you think is going to be really, really good might not even make the playoffs. I'm not saying it's going to be one of the teams I just mentioned, but I'm just saying one of these teams that everybody sees as a preseason lock to be, you know, a top 5, 6, 7 seed, whatever it's going to be, may end up completely missing it. Now, maybe they're a play-in team, they just don't make the playoffs, but that's just the state of the West, dude. It's absolutely insane. Thank God my team is in the East. Talking about those teams, I didn't even mention the Spurs, who I've really liked their offseason. Of course, another year for Wemby to develop, hopefully into, you know, another superstar. So, insane. Insane. We're just rambling, though. Memphis is going to be fun, and let's do one more possession. I didn't even realize this is Marcus Smart going up against his old team right now. So, excited for Marcus to get a ring here. Of course, all my other guys on my Celtics got him. So, Marcus will now be adding one to his collection as well, which I wish was actually the real case. I really do. One more screen here. Down the lane with Morant. Goes up to the rim. Gets the layup. Good night. We end up defeating the Boston Celtics in 5 games. No surprise here, as Ja Morant is your finals MVP. Beautiful way to cap off year 3. Now we have 2 more years to go as Steph Curry, James Harden, Paul George, all calling it a career. Certainly should all be Hall of Famers. They are. We now enter jersey retirements, draft lottery time. We traded away the Hornets pick. And it looks like it actually ended up being not that valuable. So maybe we made a really good decision. It was at 22. That's insane. If you remember, we included that pick in the Shaedon Sharpe deal with the Trailblazers. And, wow, I'm very happy we, maximized the value on that draft selection. Let's head up to the draft. I'm pretty sure I did trade away my first as well this season. I did. I don't have any picks. That's fine. We're not making many major changes. Edey and Patel both going to be brought back. Johnny Zuzang was on this team. Interesting. Bird rights, G.G. Jackson, certainly somebody I'd like to extend. About $14 million annually we're going to offer him. He accepts it. And we're in a point right now where I don't really have to make any changes. I might make I just forgot about that. Marcus is going to be turning 34 next year. It's not necessary. I could wait a season, but I think I want to do it. I do. I got Marcus's ring. I'm always going to love Marcus. He was the heart and soul of the Celtics, but if I'm being honest, I have to think about this from a logical perspective of what's going to be, the smart thing for us to do here, and I think it would be smart to maybe go out and get somebody a little bit younger. I'm actually going to take Nikola Jovic here, and then I'm going to hopefully go out and trade Aldama. There's nothing wrong with Aldama, but he's also an expiring contract, so we include him in like a 2031 draft pick. Any point guards out there that are like, I don't know, okay players, like 77, 78 overall, anything like that? Yeah, not really seeing any of those guys, unfortunately. All right, let me just look real quick. I know, actually, wait a minute. No. All right, let's just go over here to Player Finder. We're going to go point guards making like $8.5 million, something like that. I don't really know. Just curious. Probably not the longest list in the world, but doesn't have to be an elite player. Like, this is like kind of the range I want to be in. Unfortunately, none of the... Oh, my God. I can't do that. Tawan Pettyway may be an option for me. And then I'll give you a first in 2031. And then can I get it done with just a bunch of seconds? I really, really hope so. Fucking A. All right, fine. One more. Really? Okay, well, I may have put myself in a bit of a position that I was not really initially anticipating. Of course, that's unfortunate. Carlton Carrington's also sitting here. 3 stars in value. Okay, how about a first in 2031? And then I just do a bunch of second-round picks. Is this possible? Come on. Come on. Oh, my God. Such a pain in the ass. Such a pain in the ass. This was all to just get a little bit younger. It wasn't even necessary, but it's fine. Nobody likes me running it back for multiple seasons. I will see you guys at the start of year 4. Last season was absolutely fantastic for us. We won 66 games and went on to win the Larry O'Brien Trophy. We have now come back. Relatively similar team. We have a new 9th and a 10th man, but other than that, core guys are locked in. Starting 5 remains exactly the same. It's John Morant, Shaedon Sharpe, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., and obviously Mr. Zach Edey, who, by the way, 2K still recommends I have come off the bench. Not the case. Bench unit, Ding Patel is up to an 81 overall, and he's developing nicely enough to the point where 2K recommends I use him as a 6th man. Why the hell not? You got Gigi Jackson, who we ended up re-signing, Isaiah Hartenstein still here, and then we brought in Nikola Jovic and Carlton Carrington, who hopefully are going to be somewhat impactful players for us. So that is where we're at. Obviously, have all the talent in the world, and I'd like to go back-to-back. Let's make that happen. Beautiful way to end our 4th season here in Memphis. Not only does John Morant end up with the MVP award, but we tie the best record in NBA history at 73-9. Well, the Warriors went 73-9. That season did not end too great for them. I'd like to change that for us here a little bit. Marcus Johnson, not really sure who that is. He's probably about 14, 15 years old right now. He's your Rookie of the Year. Cameron Boozer is in Houston, your 6th man. Wemby, just give it to him every year. Tawan Pettyway. We tried to trade for him, didn't we? Yep, he is your most improved player. Ant, your clutch player of the year. Taylor Jenkins, 2nd straight coach of the year. Okay, it is time for the NBA playoffs. We are 16 games up on the Super Team Thunder. I say Super Team like we're not one. Here in the Western Conference, let's go over some numbers real quick. My favorite thing to do. Morant, Sharpe, Bane, Triple J. Zach Edey has just been so goddamn consistent. Guy's been a walking double-double entire time. Patel, Jackson, Jovic, Carrington, and then Hartenstein. Rebounds led by Edey, and assists with Ja Morant, about 12 a game for Ja. Beautiful. All right, Zach Edey versus Nikola Jokic. Zach LaVine has regressed to a 79. God damn. Also added Jonathan Kuminga. I think I'm pretty comfortable simming this round. Okay. Not as much as I thought I was. Steph Curry's no longer here, but you know who is? Mr. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Also got Keegan Murray, Podziemski still here, Pettaway, Achua, Wendell Carter Jr., Jaren Stevenson. Okay, well, Giannis scares the living shit out of me. I'm not going to lie to you guys. We are currently 2-2 with the Warriors. Go up 3-2. We close them out in 6. Never a dull moment in the West as we get by Giannis and the Warriors. Now it is SGA and the Thunder, who have added Kawhi Leonard. He's an 80 overall, but he's still Kawhi Leonard. Okay, of course they did, because why wouldn't they? We lose the first 2 at home, win 3 on the road, win 4 on the road, lose 5 at home, win 6 on the road, and oh my God, we won in 7. We finally won a game at home in the Western Conference Finals. We are now taking on the Toronto Raptors here in the NBA Finals. Quickly, Bailey, Barrett, Barnes, Pirtle, you got MPJ, Caleb Wilson, Jalen Williams. Okay, I think we're better than them. I'm not going to lie to you. We are just running them out of the building. That is back-to-back championships and back-to-back finals MVPs from Mr. John Morant. All right. Ooh. KD. Jimmy went back to Minnesota. I don't think that would ever happen. We are obviously entering our final offseason. There are not going to be many major changes, if any at all. We'll sim through the lottery. I don't think I've traded for anything that could possibly be in here. Oh, good. The Wizards have the top 2 picks. They sure as hell need them. All right. Taylor Jenkins, very happy with the job he's done. We head up to the 2028 NBA draft, and we have the 30th overall pick. I am just going to... No, nobody wants it. It's fine. I know it's a first, and we're giving it up for seconds, but I'm not going to use it. Patel going to be brought back. Don't know who this is. Carrington and Edey definitely want to qualify both of them. Ooh, this is important. John Morant. Fuck. Okay, shit. That is... Holy shit, $245 million fucking dollars over 4 years. It's about $63.5 million annually. All right, well, that is my number 1 priority. That is actually a max I can offer him. Hopefully he takes it. because if not, we're fucked. Okay, looks like he is going to take it. Edey, I'd like to pay as well. And then Carrington, I'm not as worried about because I could hypothetically replace, the backup point guard if I had to. It's not the end of the world, but really got to make sure I get, Ja Morant back. That's number one. All right, we do. Honestly, I know nobody likes it, but I'm just going to run it back, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't know if it's going to be possible to have a better season than what we did last year. We tied the best record in NBA history, and Ja Morant won an MVP award right before we won our second straight championship. So if we can win 3 straight, that would obviously be incredible. It's relatively rare when I'm able to do that in my rebuilds, but if we're going to do it with a team that's really talented, this might as well be the one that is it. Morant, Sharp, Bane, Jackson, and then Edey, Patel, Jackson, Hartenstein, Jovic, Carrington. I'll see y'all at the end of year 5. We do not have the best record in NBA history, but Ja Morant did just win a second straight MVP. We wrap up our 5th and final regular season with a record of 68-14, and hopefully we are on the cusp of a dynasty. That's what a 3rd championship would give us. Isaac Hayes, Rookie of the Year, is a member of the Washington Wizards. Darius Acuff Jr., your 6th man. Chet Holmgren, we finally got somebody not named Victor Wembanyama winning a Defensive Player of the Year. Hallelujah. Ellis Harrington, Most Improved. Cooper Flagg, holy shit, your Clutch Player of the Year. And it is 3rd straight Coach of the Year. Mr. Jenkins, hopefully it's 3rd straight championship coming up too. We are clearly the best team in basketball, at least according to record-wise, and let's just go out and do this thing. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time going through this because we are at the point of the video where we should just be steamrolling everybody. Here are the Pelicans. Okay, no more Zion, but whatever. End up sweeping. Moving on to the Phoenix Suns. Got Booker, Murray. Not a fucking chance in hell this team's touching it. Whoa, that went 6. Here comes the Thunder, who are obviously going to be a little bit... I'm sorry, what the fuck is going on? Are the Thunder on food stamps for NBA stars? I mean, where the hell do they just keep getting handed these guys, right? How do you just land De'Aaron Fox? I do not understand. I legitimately do not understand how that works. Half the time when the CPU rebuilds the Thunder, they build better teams than I do when I build the Thunder. It's insane. Rematch of last year's finals with the Toronto Raptors. Not to say they're not a good team, but they do not move me nearly enough. Win our 3rd straight championship. It is officially a dynasty. It is 3 straight finals MVPs for Ja Morant. And that is the championship, my friends. That is the Zach Edey Memphis Grizzlies rebuild. Obviously, we started out, on a much higher note than most of these prospect rebuilds do, right? I mean, it's very hard, to screw up when a team is as good as the Grizzlies, and obviously we took full advantage of all the talent they have on their roster. So this one was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I did. As always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. I'm going to keep asking you guys that pretty much until 2K25 drops. So give me some good ideas down there. Let's see, yeah. I don't know. I just blanked out. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.